Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Amanda and this is Amanda's Cozy Corner. Welcome back to my videos and my channel. If you're new here, welcome. We talk about all things cozy and reading related, knitting, other just fun, relaxing crafts. And today I wanted to talk about Kindle Unlimited because it's something that a lot of people use and have and love. I'm a big Kindle user myself. I am subscribed. Kindle Unlimited does cost $9.99 a month, and it is an Amazon subscription, which some people are for and some people are, not so happy about, which totally get. But I thought since so many of us are paying $10 of our hard-earned money a month, we may as well maximize the amount of books that we get for that cost. And lately, I've been noticing that there's a lot of books that people on BookTube and BookTok and Instagram and things have been talking about. And instead of going out to buy some of these physical books and hoping that I like them, I figured why not check to see what's on Kindle and what's available to me for something that I already pay for. I also wanted to throw in here that you do not need an actual Kindle device to have a Kindle Unlimited subscription. Kindle has really, really great app support across a whole bunch of different platforms. So if you have, for example, an iPad or a laptop, or even your phone, you can have the Kindle app and read Kindle Unlimited books on those devices. Now, they may not be the easiest reading experience and it may not be for everybody, but you don't necessarily need to go out and drop $1, $2, $3, even $400 on a brand new Kindle or even a used Kindle to get access to this app and this reading experience. It's really up to you and whatever sort of reading device you prefer. Another thing I wanted to mention is that, again, on most of these devices, if you are not a Kindle Unlimited subscriber, you don't have to be. Right? There is a wonderful app called Libby where you can enter your library card and check out ebooks. I'm pretty sure most libraries are included on the Libby app. Don't quote me on that. I haven't done a ton of research. I just started using that app recently myself. Just check it out because it's a cool option to access your local library without actually physically having to go there. So let's jump right in. So the first book was The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Everyone on BookTube has been raving and reading and talking about this book, or buddy reading it, as well as The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, which is the second book, which just came out. So if you're into it, you can actually read both of the books that are currently available out in the world through Kindle Unlimited, which is pretty cool. The second series that I wanted to bring up actually became pretty popular through BookTok way back in the day, maybe a year or two ago. That's The Bridge Kingdom. And many of the booktubers that I watch personally recommend The Bridge Kingdom for people who are kind of interested in getting into fantasy romance. And that entire series is on Kindle Unlimited as well. The third is Guild, which I also believe that may have actually been published primarily on Kindle Unlimited first, and then once it became super popular, got physical copies. I'll have to double check that, but it is available right now. Or an author who is historically available on Kindle Unlimited is Elise Kova with her Air Awakens series. She also has a couple other series out right now, including Married to Magic, which is a series of fated mate type situations. It starts with a deal with the Elf King and and, you know, has different, they're not all Fey Lords, but they are all rulers of different kingdoms in this world that, of course, the human female falls in love with, or they fall in love together. I've heard mixed reviews on this. A lot of people seem to like her Air Awakens series much more than the Married to Magic series. I personally have only read the Deal with the Elf King and thought it was okay. Not the greatest, but also not the worst. I think I gave it like a 3.5, so enjoyable to read, but I probably wouldn't reread it. Another popular author who can be found on Kindle Unlimited is Colleen Hoover. So some of her books, especially some of her older books, are currently available on Kindle Unlimited. Personally, I've never read a book by Colleen Hoover, so I can't give any recommendations or feedback. Along the same lines is Lucy Score, has a couple of her, hit sellers on Kindle Unlimited right now. Those include Things We Never Got Over, Things We Hide from the Light, and By a Thread. By a Thread in particular, I have seen a couple of people read and review on BookTube, and many people have, two people have said that it is one of their favorite books of the year that they have read so far. It's one that I personally put on my TBR because of all of the positive reviews, and I have it marked down as being just a cute workplace romance where, you know, if so many people have been gushing over it, might be worth sitting down and reading when I'm in the mood for some sort of contemporary romance. Another one that I personally have on my TBR that I want to read in the not too distant future is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Cassie McQuiston. This is enemies to lovers. It is a queer romance where it's like the son of the president and a British royal fall in love, or they have to pretend to be friends because both of their parents are very high profile people, and in order to avoid some sort of international incident, they have to like pretend to get along, and the romance develops from there, or so I gather from the synopsis. And I just thought this would be such a cute 4th of July contemporary-ish romance to read while I have a couple of days off from work. I was so thrilled to see that I would not have to actually go out and buy anything extra, that I can put, you know, the subscription to use again. Another romance series. Again, Kindle Unlimited for me is really the place where I go for romance books where I don't want to spend extra money on them, especially when I'm not sure that I'm really into what this romance is promising. I'm still kind of figuring out what formula I like. So when I read a synopsis, sometimes I think I'll like it, and then I'm like, oh God, no. Or I'm like, maybe, you know, I'm like, maybe I'll give it a shot, and I absolutely fall in love. So I'm not really quite sure what strikes my fancy yet. I'm still open to everything, let's put it that way. And one of the like Open to Everything series, which has gotten some mixed reviews on BookTube especially, has been the Fine Print series by Lauren Asher. And it sounded kind of cute and romantic to me, and then I saw a lot of disappointment, and I can't tell if maybe it's because these books have been overhyped and people read them and they're just not living up to the expectations, or if it's something that like maybe isn't for me. Another one that falls in this category is Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. It is a dark romance about a woman who is sort of a scammer or ID thief. She's on the run from the authorities, and she kind of falls into the lap of the man who is no innocent himself. and it's essentially a dark romance where these two people just can't let go of each other, or so I gather. I did watch How to Train Your Dragon's review partially, and when I started to get interested, I turned it off about halfway through the vlog because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. So I can't tell anything else other than everyone keeps reiterating to please check the tags before you read this book. So I will do the same, and I will check the tags myself before I get into it. But it's like really making the rounds, and apparently there's some really spicy fan art of this, which I will probably have to see if I can track down, because everyone references it whenever they do a reading vlog, and I'm like, now I want to know. A high on the recommendation list series for folks is the Zodiac Academy. There's something like 10 or 11 books out now, I think. And from what I can tell, on Kindle Unlimited, the entire series is available. So if you don't want to invest a whole bunch of money into a pretty lengthy series at this point, you don't have to. So a book that I haven't seen too much on the book recs lately, and actually two, and I think it's because these are older books, but they both piqued my interest and have been on my TBR for some time now, is Hooked by Emily McIntyre and The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. If you, like me, haven't gotten around to reading these books yet, don't go out and buy them. Just check them out on Kindle Unlimited. And part of why I'm making this list is because I think it is very worthwhile putting a subscription to its full use. I mean, if you're gonna pay a monthly fee to get basically unlimited access to books, you may as well put it to use, right? You may as well actually use this to read books that are current and relevant, and if that's what you're into, right? And really get every, bang for your buck out of this thing. If I read these books and I now, don't like them, I don't necessarily want them to be sitting on my shelf. And while I have absolutely no problem unhauling books or donating them, I don't necessarily want to always give books away for free or get just a little bit of money back, because, like you said, every dollar counts, and not all of us have a ton of disposable income to put into this hobby. So I like Kindle Unlimited as an alternative, and I especially appreciate the fact that they are getting some of these more, popular contemporary books, even if it is a little bit later or a little while after the publishing date. At least I can still kind of catch up and read some of the books that have kind of grown in popularity and maybe weren't as hyped on the date of release, but have been found and loved by other readers around the world, which is always cool. I can keep a record of what I've read and what I like, and in general, I haven't really found that it's not like a Netflix subscription, for example, where the titles change out frequently. I haven't personally found that any books that I have wanted to reread or enjoyed have suddenly become unavailable on Kindle Unlimited. I could be totally wrong. Someone who has maybe paid attention a little bit more or had the subscription for longer than me, please jump in the comments and let me know. I'm also very curious to see if anyone else has any popular Kindle Unlimited titles that they would recommend or that they have noticed. Also, throw that in the comments below, because I will definitely check them out. With that, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.